First of all, we have to understand that 1947 was dominion status, and when India became a republic, was it 1950, 51? I don't remember the date, whatever it is. That's when India actually became supposedly independent. Now, if you look at the transfer of power, it was just a transfer of power from one set of individuals, from a set of oppressors, to their hand-picked successors who were Indians, right? If you look at the Constituent Assembly, it did not represent the people of India. Less than 13% of India's population, eligible population, was allowed to vote in the elections that gave birth to the Constituent Assembly. So it did not represent the people of India and the will of the people of India. Secondly, there are many selected people in the Constituent Assembly. So the Constitution was framed by these individuals who did not represent the will of the people of India. The Constitution was created, they wrote "We the people" and all that nonsense, and then the Constitution was never allowed to be ratified. When you create a new Constitution, you have to put it to a vote to the people of India. Do you accept this Constitution or do you reject it? That's called democracy. This never happened. The Constitution is still unratified by the people of India, and we are taught over generations, generation after generation, that this is all the right way to go about it, and nobody even imagines that this is not the right way to do. I mean, the entire process was completely undemocratic. The first prime minister of India was again selected. He was not elected by anybody, right? Mr. Nehru, he was selected by Mr. Gandhi. Mr. Gandhi
Yeah.
arm twisted the Congress into selecting Mr. Nehru instead of Mr. Patel. So the entire process,
Mm.
the birth of the modern Republic of India, was totally undemocratic. People don't realize it. And whenever I say this, I get a whole lot of love from people. What do you mean? I mean the opposite of that, you know. But yeah, that's the thing. So we got all that wrong. And
Mm.
then we had the Nehruvian rate of growth, the Nehruvian regime, 2%, 3% per year. A nation that was that broken down, with a life expectancy of what, 28, 32, whatever it was, and the economy was totally destroyed. That nation should have rebounded very rapidly. Look at how Japan rebounded under US occupation after 1945, after it was totally destroyed and devastated. Two atomic tests were done on the Japanese people, and yet Japan was able to rebound from that, despite being, even until today, under the US occupation, and so on. Look at how Korea was able to rebound after the Korean War, right? Again, under US occupation. India was free. India was not under anyone's occupation. And yet we were placed deliberately under this Nehruvian regime, this Nehruvian rate of growth, the red tape, the license Raj, everything that went wrong. It's only when India nearly went bankrupt in 1991 that the economy was opened up, and it was opened up on the terms of the West, the World Bank, the IMF, all that, which compromised India internally very deeply, and we are still compromised by these matters, which it's a whole different story. So we got so much wrong. I think what went right is 2014. We finally elected a government that is nationalist. I think that's where things change, and I hope it stays on that path.